Michael Flood.
Hi, good morning. My name is Michael Flood. I'm the CEO of the Los Angeles Regional Food Bank, and thanks for this invitation to present to you, and definitely appreciate our fellow presenters and their moving testimony of this really critical issue. If you're not familiar with the LA Regional Food Bank, we've been around for quite some time, since 1973. Gentlemen started with a pickup truck and picking up food and distributing it to people who needed it. The issue of food surplus and food waste has been with us for decades and decades. And that's how food banks around the country really got established, larger regional food banks. So fast forward to today, we provide food to 700 partner agency sites, food pantries, soup kitchens, shelters, smaller food banks, older adult programs, children's programs, and the like. And we also run direct service programs for older adults, including home delivery, not meals as much as groceries for those who are still cooking. For children, summer lunch is going on right now, after school meal, backpack programs, and the like, and how really the work has transitioned significantly in the last 16 months is just the huge demand, increased demand in food assistance, who I think everyone has spoken to already. We started moving some of the mobile distributions to large drive-through distributions that you've probably seen on the news. And about a year ago, a little over a year ago, we knew how bad the situation got so quickly when we held a distribution at the Forum in Inglewood, and 7,560 families came through in a 4-hour period. We had to keep dispatching trucks from our distribution center to make sure, and on that day, I'm happy to announce that everyone was served. Everyone went away with food. So it does take all of us to really make a difference in this work. We're still, even though things have improved, just a couple of things I just want to highlight. Our unemployment rate in Los Angeles County is 11%. We are appreciably higher than the state, and we're much higher than the federal average. So that puts a lot of pressure on the budgets of individuals, families, and households throughout Los Angeles County. The other issue I wanted to mention, is, as some have spoken to already, is this issue of food insecurity, where people are making the decisions between their basic expenses, rent, medication, utilities, transportation, and food. And too often, food is just what's left in the budget, and that's where the shortfall comes to play. In a good economic situation, 1 in 5 people in Los Angeles County were experiencing food insecurity. 1 in 5. That was good economic times, right? USC's been tracking food hardship, insecurity, since the pandemic hit, and they saw at the peak of last year, 1 in 4 people were struggling to feed themselves. So as some of the other panelists have already, I think, absolutely hit the mark, we had a problem before the pandemic hit, a huge problem, and a problem that disproportionately hit low-income communities and communities of color. And coming out of the pandemic, those communities largely are worse off now than they were going into the pandemic. So we have our work cut out for us. I'm sure later, I know there's other panelists that will speak to the issue of, again, the unhoused situation. I just want to highlight the issue of housing instability, because that's the step before homelessness and unhoused. And I'm sure you're going to hear from someone, I don't think there's a most recent number with the pandemic occurring. But again, this is a situation where a high percentage of households prior to the pandemic were housing unstable, just like they were food insecure. And if you're living on that edge, you're gonna struggle. You're gonna have a very difficult time. Finally, we're very much involved in policy. We spend a lot of time on the Cal Fresh program, which is the traditional food stamp program. We partner with school districts. We partner with LA County and cities. So that's another important piece of this. In terms of those of us in the nonprofit sector, we can't do this alone. There's no way we're going to end hunger ourselves as one organization and a network of agencies. It's going to take the government partners, it's going to take private sector, it's going to take civic and social organizations to come together and solve the dual issues of food insecurity, housing instability that leads to an unhoused situation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael, and thank you for the work that you're doing out there. Thank you for serving.